we are back again. Video 3 of this 3-part series, Halloween Spectacular. Hopefully you've been having some fun and learned some stuff from this toot, and hopefully you learned some more in this one too. Put some comments down below because I would love to hear back from you guys, kind of get some feedback and stuff. So we're going to focus on the final dev look of this project here in this video. We're going to do some simple regrain, not diving too deep in the regrain, just a very, very simple little pass. Just kind of introducing the idea to people out there of what that is. And then, the last part of it is just the eye candy and the transitions to really merge this whole thing together and stuff. Hopefully you guys glean a lot from this. And let's jump on into it. All right, jumping back in. So just kind of watching this comp is still kind of looking kind of nasty and stuff. We did track to this point up here. So I cleaned up the shifting on that. But see where it's all placed. See now our zombie is drifting over this background and stuff. Let's just clean this up real quick. We're basically just going to shift everything on over. It's super simple. So we kind of scrub through this now. Diving into the final looks. And the regrain, the eye candy, transitions and stuff. This is going to be a little deep here. So let's just kind of bust on through the dev look. Okay, so let's actually kind of dive into this. We're going to do the simple regrain is just simply placing some grain onto the image. So we're going to pop that onto there. We can go, diving deep. This is super, super simple, but kind of the philosophy and the idea of regraining your shot is, say you've got this whole shot here. This footage plate, this back plate, has got its own grain. So that grain needs to be translated onto these elements. The text, these boxes, the zombie. What you could do is go ahead and extract the grain off this back plate by a series of Luma keys and some other pretty intense workflows. That's diving a little deep and stuff. That would be for a whole tutorial all by itself. I just wanted to introduce the idea to you guys that this is a standard technique of regraining your shot. Here we're just going to cheat very, very simply. I'm just going to pop this grain on here. We're just going to adjust it. Grain softness, grain size. We don't need it to be super obnoxious or anything. We just need a little bit of grain in there just to kind of sell this shot a little bit more. That's my 2 cents on regraining for right now. Let's go ahead and copy this grain from here. We're going to paste it into this shot too. There we go. So now we have the regrain in both of those shots. You can support me today by listening to my music via the links below. Become a sponsor today. Message me via the Facebook link below to find out more. So this dev look, we're going to jump on into color. And my quick little thing, I have a little preset that I've built that's got my balance, my white balance, my saturation, my look, a vignette, and even more grain. Let's go ahead and go on in the balance. I've got myself a little panel here. So I'm gonna cheat, but you can follow along. Let's go ahead and bring up the gain some. Just so we can get up in the limits here. We got the blacks a little bit low, so I'm gonna drop the lift. Or raise the lift a little bit. So raising that lift just a skosh. There's our balance shot. White balance, we're kind of doing this thing. I don't necessarily want to white balance this shot. It came in already white balanced. So we're going to leave that alone. The saturation, here's where you can kind of go a little fun. You can go ahead and desaturate it, give it that look. You can, increase the saturation. I'm going to just kind of bring this down just a skosh. That should be fine. The look, let's go ahead and do something where it's like maybe a little bit orangey. Just a skosh. So there's like too much. We're going to bring this back a little bit. Let's go ahead and bring our curve down a little bit. Kind of give it a little bit more of a contrasty look. That's something else we can do. We can just kind of dial in this contrast. Just kind of turn that a little bit. Mid detail, I'm going to kind of just, I actually kind of want it to be popping a little bit. So the positive numbers kind of is almost like a sharpen. It's like a soft sharpen where like the negative kind of blurs things out. It's like, it's great on like women's skin and stuff. Color boost, let's go ahead and just pump up the color boost just a little bit. Where is that color boost at? Down here. So the color boost, I'm just going to pop that on up just a little bit. Okay, so there's kind of our look. There's a vignette. It's just a soft little vignette. I kind of like having vignettes on things. Kind of a nerd that way. Okay, so there's our shot there. Oh, let's jump back into the color. Come on. Let's go ahead and just make this, grab the still. So there we go. Let's go to the next shot. Let's just see what it looks like if we apply this. Okay, not really liking that. It's like actually too orangey compared to our other shot. I should go on into the look tab and make this a little bit greener. We need to drop the lift a bit. So we're just kind of dialing that in some. The gain is a little too high, so we're just going to bring that back a little bit, kind of make this a little bit more contrasty. Let's go on into our look again. Let's increase that contrast a bit more. There we go. Kind of bring this back a little bit. What's this doing for us? Kind of popping it. It's kind of cool. I kind of like having it popped a little bit, so we'll do that. These two shots are not really matching up very good. Too green, not enough green. So let's go ahead and jump on into the color. Bring back our saturation a bit more. There we go. That's kind of getting a bit closer and stuff. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Not 100%, but it does what we're intending and stuff. So that takes up the dev look on that is basically just kind of going through and doing some color matching and stuff. And giving it kind of like a look, graining it in and stuff. Let's continue with more of the eye candy and the look and stuff. We're going to jump on into here. Let's grab a tilt shift. Slide this on over here. We're going to bring that on down here. Let's just kind of increase the range. So see our zombie back here? He's like out of focus there. Just kind of want to bring him more into focus. Just kind of bring this on up. The near. Just kind of slam that on down. Another thing that we want to do is create this little chromatic vignette effect. And we can dive into this a little bit more. But I actually have a tutorial that goes over building this this effect and stuff. So I would recommend checking out the tutorial up here in the corner. You know, check that on out. Got a little link there. Just click on that. You know, pull it on up, and you can then watch it once you're done with this tutorial. That would work out pretty good. Basically, like what this chromatic aberration effect is doing is just fringing out the edges and giving us some more color and detail. Just another little layer of eye candy. Lots of layers. Layer number 1 being a little bit of a tilt shift. Layer number 2 being this chromatic aberration vignette effect. We're going to go ahead and copy that and pop it on into this shot too. We're just going to connect up our ellipse for the actual ring and connect in that stuff. Let's go ahead and grab our tilt shift so we can mimic the same kind of looks. Pop that on into here. There we go. Now let's do a little something on the outside here. We're going to go on into effects, bring in an adjustment clip. I'm going to turn that on. Bring this on down here or something like that. Okay, so we need to jump on into here, into the fusion. The reason I'm using an adjustment clip is because I want this media in node. Instead of using a fusion comp, it has no media in node. It just has the media out. So I don't want that. I want the media in. So I can actually utilize some damage. So we're going to do the analog damage. There we go. And grab the clean VHS, old VHS. How about old VHS? That's kind of cool. Open up our sliders here, our panels. All right, so with this effect, it's just a lot of tweaking around, and we can sit here for 15 minutes going through and tweaking stuff. This is just kind of what I landed on for the tutorial and stuff. Just dropping some keyframes on the V hold in here. Shifting it around, and also some line frequency, so the scan lines. Kind of see that sparking up. This ghosting effect is kind of what gives us some cool little items and stuff. And then what I did in this thing, we're going to go ahead and just pop up a slider. So it just kind of dissolves in. So it's like got no effect. And then it's dissolving in and giving us some nice ghosting and stuff. And then the next little eye candy that we're doing, let's drag another adjustment clip on down here. I'm just going to bring this on down. Inside this, we are just going to paste our analog damage, and we're just going to adjust it so it looks different. Let's go ahead and remove these animations. So pop on the vignetting, do something that just kind of looks a little bit different. Noise, we can crank up our noise. You know, bring that on down. We're basically just creating a different kind of a look. Then we just go 2 frames down, then cut. So I'm just doing B, brings up my slicer. And I'm just going to jump on in here and go 1 frame, cut that, 2 frames, cut that, 1 frame, cut that, 1 frame, 2 frames, cut that, and then there we go. Press A, and I can get my pointer back and delete that. I'm just going to slide this on back here so it lines up a little bit more. Press the arrow to kind of move it just 1 frame at a time. That was the right arrow. Okay, now I can jump on into this. Come on now. And I can just do that same thing again. So scan lines, we can shift it on over here. The vignetting, I'm going to bring all the way back in because I don't really want that on everything. Yeah. Color bias. Bring in that color a bunch. We want some color. The misalignment, some ghosting. We can just bring that on over to the other side. Make it even more apparent and stuff. Go to our next piece. Bring this on down. Chromatic noise. Bring that on up. There we go. Go to our next one. Bring this on down. Do the V hold. There we go. Go to our next one where basically you see exactly what we're doing there. What that's going to do is just give us this nice little transition. Glitch transition. There we go. Okay, and then the next things we're doing is just these little V-hold ramps. So this is just a TV effect. I just ramped up the frequency on it. So we're just going to do a little TV effect and just bring in that frequency from 0 to something. And that just gives us this nice little roll and shifting there. And for this last effect, we're just going to bring on a transform node. Then we're going to click on the center. Actually, go to the very beginning. Click on center. Shift it either way, whichever way you want. We need to go to the edges and either duplicate or mirror or warp. Yeah. I think I like the warp on these. So it's just going to go bink to the side, and then on over a couple more frames. It's going to go on over here to another side. It's going to go here, on over quick. And then at this point, so right there, we want to drop one on the size and one at the very end to rush the screen. So let's go ahead and bring in the spline. So the size here, we need it to just actually slide down one more. So we're going to select it, go into T offset and +1. Just wouldn't let me apply that right there. So bink, it's just going to jump right up at the screen there. There we go. And of course, you want to make sure that your motion blur is turned on. So we just go on in here, turn on motion blur. I got a quality of 7, thrown it to 250 or so. Just move the sliders. It'll be fine. Then, of course, I put in some sound design and sound effects into there. I grabbed those from Universal Music, so I'm actually not able to put those onto the download here. You guys, I'm sure, have some sound effects you can probably plug on into there, make something kind of sound cool and stuff. You can see what I've done here. All I got is a couple different sound effects just overlaid and stuff, some crossfades, chop some stuff up, little fade-ins and stuff, just to kind of get things to blur, merge into one another. This here has got an edit because you got the sound here that's happening over it. So you don't actually hear this edit because the sound is actually taking care of that edit point for me. Got another little fade in. Got another little cross dissolve going into something just to sell that. And that was just listening to the different sounds I had. I heard some staticky thing. I was like, oh, I kind of like that. I'll just pop that into there. I'd love to be able to see your guys' outcomes and projects that you do. Go ahead and post some links down below and share them with the community, share them with myself. I would love to see it all. Hey everyone, so that is the end of this series. I'd love to hear some comments from everyone down below, and let me know what you thought of this series and what you'd like to kind of like go over in the future. I'm making new stuff all the time. These videos I'm dropping in September, October. I'm actually making them in May, so I'm 6 months ahead of my schedule and stuff. So if you guys would like to go over some stuff, I have lots of time to be able to develop these ideas. Let's jump on into it and have some fun. Let me know.